to John Collins.
The base is loaded and 1 out.
Deep to right field.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
And now it's time for Swoop Radio with your host, Josh Sanchez.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Swoop Radio. I am your host, Josh Sanchez, and man, do we have a podcast for you guys today. So what we're going to do today is we are going to go over, and I apologize for my graphics. They look a little rough today. I deeply apologize. I just came off of work last night, so I'm trying to adjust to my new schedule. But the Philadelphia Eagles, we are going to do a full 7-round mock draft. What's going on, man? I know it's been a while, Dunk FM, man. I hope you're doing well and stuff. I have just been busy with work and stuff, and I plan to live stream games once a week. I'm just taking a couple weeks off to just get used to my new schedule and stuff like that. But for today's podcast, we are going to get into the Eagles mock draft. We are going to talk about who are they going to draft, all 7 rounds. We're going to go over prospects at the time that the Philadelphia Eagles can look at and stuff like that. And then we will get into a little bit of basketball talk. I know the Sixers and Nets are playing, but I also know that the Brooklyn Nets are resting all 3 stars. So as a basketball fan, I am not happy. I want to see both teams go at it full strength. And it sucks, because I think the Sixers are going to dominate tonight. Because, again, there's no Kyrie, there's no Kevin Durant, and there's no Harden. So this is a big game. Winner gets the number 1 seed. So hopefully the Sixers can get the dub. And they also will have the tiebreaker as well over the Nets. And that's huge with, I believe, like 18 games left to play in the season. You have a 2-game lead right there. And these next 6 games are tough for the Sixers. They got Brooklyn, they got the Clippers on Friday, then they have the Warriors Monday, Phoenix Suns on Wednesday, and then they have Milwaukee in a 2-game series. So it's going to be tough for the Sixers. This is going to be a very tough 6-game stretch, but after, then it should be smooth sailing for the Sixers. So hopefully they can get some dubs. I honestly think the Sixers, as a fan, I would love to see them go 4-2, if not go 5-1, and one of the losses being in Milwaukee. So the Sixers are really good at home. Expect a dub, especially against the Clippers. I think the Sixers win Friday night, and they also win tonight, especially now that the Nets don't have their starters. So we just have to wait and see. And before we get into the NFL mock draft, I hope everyone's doing good listening and stuff like that. Again, I am adjusting my work schedule, but you guys can tune into the podcast every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time if you missed this live stream on Twitch, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Just search Swoop Radio and I pop right up. Also, check out the website for the Swoop Radio page. I can pull it up right now for you guys real quick just to show you guys my WordPress site. Give it some love. You guys can see right here. You have Spotify right here, Twitch, Apple Podcasts, and also my Pokemon links from when I live stream. And just like usual, here's my Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff. Latest episodes, whatever you guys need, it's right here on Swoop Radio. Just check it out and it'll pop right up. But again, for today's podcast, we are mainly going to do a 7-round NFL mock draft. I will play that sound every time the Eagles are on the clock, and we are going to simulate it as if I'm the GM of the Philadelphia Eagles. And just to give you guys a quick little prequel, I am using Mock Draft Machine. And sorry, I just got to my camera's a little bit slanted. But Mock Draft Machine, big shout out to them. That's where I usually do all my mock drafts and all that fun stuff. So without further ado, let's get started with the mock draft. All right, as we're at the NFL mock draft machine simulator, we're going to choose the Eagles and Eagles only because that's the team that I'm doing. Ignore that weird advertisement. I don't know what the heck they were thinking. I'm not going to lie to you. So let's hit next. All right, so what we're going to use, we are going to do, what are the options? It looks like it's just going to be that. So let's choose 7 rounds. We're doing a full 7-round mock draft. And we're going to do predictive boards. So we're going to go based off of that. So before I hit start draft, I want you guys to understand the Eagles have all their 7-round picks are right there on my screen for you guys. They traded down from 6. At 6, I thought the Eagles were probably going to get either Kyle Pitts or Jamar Chase. But now that the Eagles have traded down to 12, I honestly think the Eagles can go either numerous options. So that's the Eagles' first round pick. And the last time the Eagles picked at 12, they selected Fletcher Cox. So hopefully the numbers will be in the Eagles' favor this time. And then the Eagles have the second round pick, 37th, and also third round pick, 70th. They also get another third round pick from the Colts from the Carson Wentz trade. So the Eagles have 2 3s, a 4, a 5, 3 6s, 2 7s, and 2 3s. So the Eagles have a lot of picks in the NFL draft. So a lot of discussion that we are going to get into today. So without further ado, let's get started with the NFL draft. All right, as we look at the picks. All right, so as I'm just letting all this simulate real quick and we're going to go over it. The Eagles are on the clock. All right, so as we look at who went, the first 4 are quarterbacks, and quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. So we look, there's Trevor Lawrence, quarterback Clemson, number 1, obviously so. Zach Wilson, BYU over Trey Lance. That's going to be interesting. I'm not really sold on Zach Wilson. I like Trey Lance better, but good job for the Jets. The 49ers, they take Trey Lance. And then the Falcons get Justin Fields. So we went 4. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Falcons went Kyle Pitts, honestly, but oh well. And then we already know the Bengals are going to go Penei Sewell. He's a beast out of Oregon, especially Joe Burrow coming out of a torn ACL. They have themselves a solidified left tackle for the next decade. He's an absolute stud. And then you have Kyle Pitts going 6. That would have been the Eagles' pick, just like I said. If the Eagles traded down, the fact that the Eagles traded down, they're not getting Kyle Pitts. So Kyle Pitts to the Dolphins. I love that move. They need an explosive weapon on the outside. Jamar Chase from LSU to Detroit. They need that, especially now that they have a new quarterback. Get them some weapons. I like Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern. That's a great fit for the Carolina Panthers. But I wouldn't be surprised if they made a trade. They're one of the teams that made the trade to go up and possibly get a Trey Lance or Justin Fields. We'll just have to wait and see. The Broncos go Mac Jones. I absolutely hate that pick. Mac Jones, he is a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but he is not a top 10 pick in my opinion. The Broncos could easily go Surtain or boost that defense or even get like a Jalen Waddle on the outside. I don't get that, but okay, we'll let you go there. And then I love the pick for Dallas, Patrick Surtain. If he's still there at 12 by a miracle, Eagles take him right away. But since he's not available, we got to go with the next best bet. And then the Giants just picked up Jalen Waddle. So as we look at the team needs, the Eagles, we need playmakers on the outside. We also need help in the secondary. Darius Slay is a shutdown corner, but who is going to be on the other side? We need a safety. We need a corner. So let's look at the available players here. We have a couple options, and the Eagles also need offensive line help. So I don't think the Eagles go offensive line in the first round because everybody's coming back. So it's a need, but we can get that in the later rounds. The Eagles need a stud at linebacker. Michael Parsons would be a great pick, but I honestly don't think that the Eagles are going to take him. It's going to be between these two people. J.C. Horn from South Carolina, he's a beast. Look at his player profile as we pull it up. He's the son of a 4-time Pro Bowler, Joe Horn, and he's South Carolina Gamecock. He's an absolute beast. He played 3 seasons in the SEC. He's over 6 foot, very, very physical. He has a long and stocky frame, and he's built for sticking ex-receivers. And the Eagles are really going to need that help from on the outside to complement Darius Slay. So I think the Eagles go J.C. Horn out of South Carolina with the first pick. So the Eagles will get that shutdown corner alongside Darius Slay and really get that secondary on another level. So that's who the Eagles are going to take. J.C. Horn. And as we look around, we are now going to get into the second round. So we're seeing a lot of people go off the board. All right, now here we go again. Let's look at see what all the teams that have made their pick. So after we made our pick, we picked J.C. Horn from South Carolina. The Patriots ended up getting Devontae Smith, but honestly, they might even trade up. I see them trading up. We Jalen Phillips, edge rusher, he left. So I really like what the Dolphins have done. They got Kyle Pitts, and now they have Travis Etienne out of Clemson. He's a beast. Alurier Vera Tucker, he's a beast out of USC. Trevon Morrig from TCU, great pick for the Oakland Raiders, or Las Vegas Raiders, my fault. Washington picks up a tackle, Trevon Jenkins. Greg Newsome II, Northwestern, goes to the Bears. We're just looking. Carson Wentz gets a weapon in the first round out of Minnesota. The Jets get Micah Parsons. I love that pick. Honestly, the Eagles, that's another guy I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles took. We need a defensive leader. As we're looking, a couple edge rushers, Kadarius Toney out of Florida goes to the Jags. Great weapon for Trevor Lawrence. So, I mean, that's pretty much it for the first round. I mean, now we look at the second round. We have Javonte Williams, running back, North Carolina. Landon Dickinson, inside linebacker from Alabama. He's gone. That's a guy I really wanted us to get in the second round, but he's going to probably go in the first 2 picks. So the Jets go quarterback and 2 linebackers. Very interesting. Travis Marshall out of LSU. So the Dolphins are just getting mad weapons. So as we look at our needs, the Eagles need a wide receiver. We need a tight end. We need playmakers. We also need help on the defensive end. We need a linebacker desperately. The Eagles linebackers have really just been awful. And as we look, we have a couple cornerbacks that are on the board still. We have Caleb Farley from Virginia Tech. He was projected to be the top 10 pick, but I know he kind of fell in the draft a little bit out of Virginia Tech. I mean, the Eagles can go another corner, but I don't see the Eagles going back-to-back corners. And as we look, offensive lineman is also another option off the board. As you guys can see, Sam Cosmi, he started 34 out of 35 games out of the offensive tackle for the Longhorns. He played 14 games at right tackle, 21 at left tackle. He has experience playing on both offensive line. He's also built 10 to 15 more pounds of muscle. So honestly, I would not be surprised. I know everybody's annoyed. I mean, as we look at the wide receivers, there's a wide receiver out of Purdue, Rondale Moore. He's pretty good. But I mean, as you look, and based off of this mock draft alone, the Eagles can go linebacker, or they can go offensive tackle, or get another corner. So if Caleb Farley is still there, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, the Eagles can get 2 shutdown corners in the NFL draft in the first 2 rounds, and then we can go there. But I honestly think the Eagles go lineman here, either because the Eagles, I don't see them going linebacker. I mean, we need a linebacker bad, but as I'm looking, Missouri linebacker Nick Bolton projects as an impact starter in the NFL. So I honestly think the Eagles go Nick Bolton in the second round. So I think the Eagles go linebacker second, and as we look, our pick's 37. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we went 3 options. So Caleb Farley, cornerback. I like that. Eric Stokes, cornerback. I like that out of Georgia. He's a stud at, you get a guy from Georgia, you're set. Or we go Nick Bolton from Missouri or Sam Cosmi from Texas. I'm fine with any 4 of these players. So as we look, we need a linebacker bad. We need a leader bad. So I honestly think we go Bolton out of Missouri. So I like that. Good pick from the Eagles. Now we got a linebacker and a corner in the first 2 rounds. Now we got to look at the playmaking position for the Eagles. And obviously in the first round, we had a choice of picking Devontae Smith or the guy from South Carolina. I chose a cornerback in the first round. And as we look, we're looking at a lot of people are going. So the Eagles have gone defense so far. Now we are in the 3rd round. With the 3rd round pick, and as we look at available players, my fault, we're looking at draft log. Let's see what everybody's done. The Eagles still have not gotten a playmaker yet, but we have addressed the linebacker and cornerback position. Eagles need a lot of help on defense. This draft is mainly going to be defensive focused for the Eagles. I mean, as you guys look, Nick Bolton, linebacker out of Missouri, pretty solid right there. Jasee Horn, 1st round pick. I really like that pick. The Eagles get a corner, and now they get a linebacker. And now let's look at the needs here. I like Tylan Wallace. He is a speedster. Alani mostly as a C wide receiver, predominantly on the right side. Wallace has been a prolific option in the team's offense, an offense with mostly air raid principles. His responsibilities were limited to a select few when it comes to running routes on the perimeter, possessing average speed. His most explosive plays have come on vertical 50-50 balls where he can show his competitiveness and determination by attacking the ball. Also perform routes in short areas. So he's pretty good on RPOs, and I know that's what the Eagles want to run a lot. So let's look at his draft grade. Let's take a look. We're going to take a look at him because I have to join the premium. That's BS. So he did suffer back-to-back ACL tears in high school, but I honestly think he'll be good off the outside for the Eagles. As we look, I mean, he's really good at getting 50-50 balls. He is a pretty big body. He's almost 6 foot. So, I mean, that's a pretty solid draft pick, honestly. And the Eagles, we need to get a wide receiver. He had over 182 catches, 3,700 yards, and 48 touchdowns during his career in Oklahoma State. So, I mean, I like the pick. Let's go. We're gonna go Wallace here. We're gonna go wide receiver. I know Jameer Johnson's right there, but we've gone linebacker and we've also gone corner. So now we get Tylan Wallace with our 3rd round pick. All right, and as we look, now here's where we get another 3rd round pick. See, these picks are going to be hard. So we went offense. And then now as we look, we need an edge rusher big time for the Eagles. As we look at our draft log, so we took care of the wide receiver position, cornerback position is all taken care of. Now, as we look, I mean, Eagles pretty much need everything. So this draft pick was because of the Carson Wentz trade. And as we look, there's a tight end available, Brevin Johnson. He's fallen. He's supposed to be the 63rd pick. He's 6'3", 245 pounds. He's a dynamic weapon that grew incrementally each season in college. I mean, he's a big body. I'll give you that. He has very good athleticism and also really good ball skills. But I mean, the Eagles, and he's a very good blocker too. So I mean, not only can he catch passes, but he can also block. I'm a big fan of the tight end in that perspective. And now let's look at Jamarcus Robinson real quick, edge rusher out of Florida State. He was a 4-star recruit coming in. He's used to a 4-3. I mean, that's what we pretty much do. No, he's coming off of a 3-4, my bad. But I know he also serves as a base end 4-3. He's starting 5 technique, 4-3 base end. The Eagles do need help because are we going to sign Michael? I think the Eagles re-sign Michael Bennett. Honestly, he's our first round pick. We got to re-sign him. That would be terrible if we didn't. So with that being said, I don't think we go edge rusher here. I really like the tight end spot. We get back-to-back weapons in the 3rd round. So we go defense first 2 rounds, and then we go offense the next 2 rounds. So I really like what the Eagles have done here so far. As you guys see, there's a couple trades going on. And this is also with no trades either. So far, I really like our draft. I really like our draft log. I mean, the Eagles, we got 2 good defensive players in the first 2 rounds, and then now we go 2 offensive starters, hopefully in the next round. So now as we go into the 4th round of the NFL draft, here's what we see. Man, as you guys, a lot of people are leaving the board. All right, now here's what the Eagles have with the 4th round. So there's a lot of options here. I mean, the Eagles we can go edge rusher. So as we look at our draft log real quick, so we took care of wide receiver, tight end, cornerback, and linebacker. So it's been really good picks. As you guys can see on the other boards, Dallas has gone defense a lot in this draft because, I mean, I know they need help. Here's where I think the Eagles in the 4th round, I know they need help on linemen. I also know they need help on the edge rusher. It all depends on what's available now. Honestly, in the 4th round, let's look. It's going to be we're not going to go running back because we have Miles Sanders. So honestly, it's going to come down to in the 4th round, Dayo Adigobu, sorry if I pronounce his name wrong, and Hamilcar Rashed Jr. So let's look at his draft board real quick. Pac-12 player. And there's no draft analysis. Oh, that's great. And then here we go from Vanderbilt. I mean, honestly, if I were to choose between a Pac-12 player and an SEC player, I'm going SEC. Oh, man, this guy is 6'6", 265 coming out of... I know he's reduced down to a 3 technique, and he's played in nose tackle and sub packages. I mean, he has really good reactive athleticism. He could play 4-3 DN, 3-4 outside linebacker. I mean, that's pretty good, and he's a big body. So I think the Eagles go with Dayo Adigabu in the 4th round. But let's look. Let's look at possibly we can get an inside linebacker. I know I already took that need though because we got a linebacker. Israel Makaumu, he's SEC player, South Carolina. I know we already drafted the other corner. So, I mean, he just got hurt due to injury, though. We need guys that can play. So, as I'm looking, he can play slot corner. I know the Eagles need help there because I honestly think we go defense this round as I'm looking. We need to go corner. We can never we can never have enough corners, honestly. And also edge rushers, but I think we need an edge rusher bad. So we're going to go with Dayo Odigobu with the 4th round. And as we are in the 5th round now, so man, this draft is flying by. So I really like what the Eagles have been doing. So as we look at our draft log, I mean, we got Jasee Horn, first round pick, Nick Bolton, second round pick, Tylan Wallace from Oklahoma State, Breven Jordan, tight end, and Dio from Vanderbilt. So far we got, I'm sticking with a lot of SEC, because I mean, they play against the best players. So I mean, can't really complain in that regard. And as we look with the 5th round, the Eagles need help in safety. So I mean, I see Joshua Bledsoe. I mean, he's a guy from Missouri, 5'11". The team's number 3 safety, feature in the D gap slot. That's fine, because I mean, I know we play a lot of nickel, so we're going to need help in that regard. So I honestly think we go safety here in the 5th round, or we can get another pass rusher. We don't go running back at all. So it's either Caleb Stearns from Texas. I mean, he started a lot. He can play both zone. He played deep center field. He's excellent at allowing eyes, throwers. Oh, I really like this pick right here. I honestly think we go Texas Longhorns. I'm sorry, Joshua. I know Josh connection, but we already got a Missouri player. So let's go Texas. We're going to go Big 12, Caleb Stearns. Oh, where do we go? Joshua Bledsoe. I mean, it's pretty much pick your poison. Or we go another wide receiver, honestly, out of Louisville. Dez Fitzpatrick. Honestly, I don't see the Eagles going, unless we get Devontae Smith in the 1st round. I don't see the Eagles getting a lot of wide receivers. I just don't see it. I think it's a defensive-minded draft. The Eagles' defense has a lot of holes. So all these guys need to come in and play. So we're going to go Caden Stearns out of Texas. I like the pick. As we look at our draft log, lots of defense. I mean, with our 2 third-round picks, we went offense. Tylan Wallace out of Oklahoma State and Breven Jordan. So I like both of those picks later. So, and then I think we get a wide receiver here, and it's looking like we are going to. Let's see. All right, and as we look at the wide receivers, from Stanford. Oh, no, we got to stay away from Stanford wide receivers. Oh, man. Oh, man. That is awful. I do not. I'm staying away from him. I mean, Jonathan Cooper, we're probably going to go another edge rusher. Because, I mean, if you get anybody from Ohio State, you're good. So again, another defensive position. So we got a couple edge rushers. We got 1 wide receiver. So I know fans will be all pissed off with me. Boo, what the hell are you doing, Josh? Why do you only have 1 wide receiver on your board? But, I mean, the Eagles need defense. Our defense stunk last year. So, as you can see by my picks, we got a bunch of defense. We got linebacker, 2 edge rushers, safety. We got 2 offensive. In the 3rd round, I addressed the offensive needs. So, now as we look, this is just 7th round picks now. This is where I think the Eagles go. As we just got to look. Let's see. Emir Smith-Marset, Big Ten West, 6'2", 180. I like that. I like the size, and I mean, I like it. We're gonna go. I mean, we got back to back, so let's go wide receiver, and then I already went with a couple edge rushers. So I mean, let's take a corner in the, because I know secondary is huge, and I like Wisconsin. Perimeter and nickel, I like it. All right, and then we have 1 more pick. So, man, that was in the 6th round. So I mean, I got a wide receiver in a corner, And then here we go. Let's look. I mean, he's fallen. Let's see. Featured slot receiver. I mean, we already have Jalen Reagor, so I'm not gonna. He's a first round pick, so we took a chance on Jalen Reagor. So I think the Eagles go running back here. Where's our running back? There's a lot of receivers on the board in the 7th round. Jeez. Wake Forest. 6'2". Let him battle it out. Oh, you played basketball. You know that's a good pick. This one's tough. I mean, it's the 7th round. I'm really stuck here on who we get in the 7th round, honestly. So, I mean, we already addressed the safety position, but, I mean, it's always good to get. Oh, I like the 6 foot. He's physical, aggressive. Oh, this is the guy right here, Paris Ford. This is the guy we find diamond in the rough. I like it. Man, lots of picks. Sorry, let me just scroll down. And then with the last pick, honestly, I think we go wide receiver with our last pick. So now it's just choosing which one. Yeah, we're not going him. I no offense to Jalen Darden. We already have Jalen Reagor to fill in that slot speedster, so we need more like big body. Yep, so this is another guy. So we're just gonna let him battle it out. All right, and that should be it with the NFL draft. And then we are going to discuss, and we're going to see all the picks, and let's see our draft grade. So, here's Swoop Radio's first mock draft. So I hope you guys are hype. We got Jesse Horn out of South Carolina, first pick, 12th overall. I really like the fit. We get a shutdown corner that can complement Darius Slay on the other side. Then I'm sticking with defense in the 2nd round. I know, guys, you want to go wide receiver. I'm sorry. But the Eagles are going to go Nick Bolton with Swoop Radio's 2nd pick, linebacker out of Missouri. Sticking with SEC, guys. We already know that's the toughest conference to play in college football. So we get 2 guys that are defense ready now players that can really lead the team. And Nick Bolton, he's versatile. That's what really got me. He can play edge rusher. He can play linebacker. We just really need a defensive leader, some identity. And I really like Nick Bolton. Expect his name to be talked about a lot for the Philadelphia Eagles. That is a sleeper 2nd round pick right there. At 70 and with the 3rd round, then the Eagles go weapons. We get Tylan Wallace out of Oklahoma State. He is a 6 foot. He's a good physical wide receiver. He can catch jump balls. He can line up on the outside. He's the perfect complement to Jalen Reagor. I looked at all the wide receivers that we have. Jalen Reagor is a speedster. We need more of a physical guy on the outside that can replace Alshon Jeffrey. We also have Travis Fulgham as well. I know Travis Fulgham really was taking steps forward, and then once Jeffries came back, he took steps back. So I think Tylan Wallace will be in the mix. And then the Eagles get another great blocking, versatile tight end, and Brevin Jordan out of Miami. I love the pick. He can block. He can really complement Dallas Goedert as well. I like that. With our 2 third-round picks, we get some weapons. And then in the 4th round, we go Dayo Odigenbu. Sorry if I pronounced his name wrong. Edge rusher out of Vanderbilt. We need to add that depth on the edge rusher spot. We don't know if Michael Barnett will be back. We need to get some pass rushers. We need to get young, and I really think he adds depth. And then with our 2nd, 4th round pick, we get the safety, Caden Stearns from Texas. He's a free safety. He can really catch the jump balls. He can cover very well. He can also play slot. That's exactly what the Eagles need. That's what Malcolm Jenkins did a lot of. He played a lot of slot. He also was physical as well. He really is a really good cover safety, so that's what we need. And then with the 5th round, we go Jonathan Cooper. Why not? Edge rusher from Ohio State. You get anybody from Ohio State that's a pass rusher, you're usually pretty good. I mean, Joey Boat, the Bosa brothers came out of there. So I like Jonathan Cooper with the 5th round pick. Then with our 3 6th-round picks, I went with, out of Iowa, Emir Smith Marset. I really like he's another big physical body. He can get open. He's a traditional Z wide receiver. That's something that the Eagles need. He doesn't excite me, but he's going to be reliable. And then out of Wisconsin, with the 2nd 6th round pick, we go Rashad Wild Goose Jr. My fault, I pronounced his name wrong. I really like this pick from Wisconsin. Another Big Ten guy, physical corner that can really lock you down. And then with the 3rd pick in the 6th round, so I went with 1 offense, 2 defense, and 2 secondary, because we need a lot of help in the secondary position. Paris Ford out of Pittsburgh. He is a physical safety. He is one of those guys that's the opposite of Caden Stearns from Texas. Caden Stearns more of that cover safety. Paris Ford is going to come in there and knock somebody down. I love the pick out of Pittsburgh. I think that's going to be a sleeper pick of the draft. And then with the 7th round pick, I picked Sage Surratt from Wake Forest, another SEC wide receiver. He has pretty good hands, and he can also battle it out with others. So this is my 7th round mock draft. Let's hit save. Let's put my email in. Ignore my email. Oh, I do not have an account, so let's create one. Swoop Radio. And as you guys see here, and again, I'm doing all this on NFL Mock Draft Simulator. So, and hopefully the Eagles will get some of these picks. I mean, I like it. The Eagles need a lot of help on defense. This is a defense. The Eagles need a lot of help on defense. So this is in my Swoop Radio, Mock 1, as you guys can see. All right, and as I got the email, so I'm going to post this on my story and stuff like that. But I really like this Eagles 7th round mock draft. The Eagles need a lot of help on defense, honestly. And this is with no trades going in. So obviously we all know that trades are probably going to happen in the NFL draft. But for now, though, this is my 7th round mock draft. I really like what I did as the Eagles GM. I mean, we needed linebacker spots, so I got 1 linebacker, 2 edge rushers. And then in the secondaries position, we got 2 corners, 2 safeties, so a lot of defense. And then on the offensive spot, we got 3 wide receivers, a tight end. So I'm excited. I hope you guys really are excited. So we're going to take a very quick break here, and we're going to conclude with some Sixers basketball talk. We're going to get into the tough 6-game stretch that the Philadelphia 76ers have to go through. But you guys listen to Swoop Radio with Josh Sanchez on Twitch, on Anchor, on Spotify. Again, the podcast will be out on Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. But I hope you guys stick around. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break here. Swoop Radio will be right back.
John Collins.
The bases loaded and one out.
Deep to right field.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
And now it's time for Swoop Radio with your host, Josh Sanchez.
And we are back. I know I said 5 minutes, but I'm just very excited to wrap up the podcast and really get into this final topic because your Philadelphia 76ers are going to have a very tough stretch. This is pretty much the toughest stretch, one of the toughest stretches of the season coming up. But then after, we're going to talk about the full schedule for the rest of the year. So just letting you guys know. So the Sixers schedule coming up. We are back. Welcome back to Swoop Radio. This is the second and final topic of today's podcast. The Sixers schedule. So I know I mentioned earlier, I talked about the Philadelphia 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets game tonight. That game is pretty much going to be a win because Brooklyn's not going to play KD and they're not going to play James Harden, also LaMarcus Aldridge, Blake Griffin. So pretty much all of their stars are not playing in tonight's game. So expect the Sixers to win and win big. The Sixers need to make a statement. This is a tiebreaker. And if the Sixers win this game, they will have not only a game ahead of Brooklyn, they also will have that tiebreaker as well. So the Sixers will pretty much be 2 games ahead of the Brooklyn Nets. But now we got to look at the rest of the schedule. And this will be a very quick, 5-minute topic, and then we'll wrap everything up. So the Sixers, we got the Brooklyn Nets tonight, Wednesday. And again, for my podcast listeners, I am recording. Today is Wednesday. You guys know I usually record live streams on Thursdays, so bear with me here. So Sixers Nets Wednesday. Then they got the Clippers, 76ers versus the Clippers, Friday night, 7 p.m. So when the podcast comes out, it'll be tonight. So hopefully the Sixers get a dub against the Clippers, and all these games are at home. So that's another thing, too, that's in the Sixers' favor. The Sixers are due for a very good and big statement for a homestand. They're due to get dubs at home. So, and also it's a revenge game. So I like the Sixers to beat the Nets and the Clippers this weekend. And then the Sixers got the Warriors at home Monday night. Revenge game from the Warriors. Stephen Curry will probably be playing. So hopefully Thibault and Simmons can give him fits in the perimeter. And then you have the Sixers and the Phoenix Suns Wednesday. So that's the 4-game homestand. So you got Nets, Clippers, Warriors, and Suns. I'm expecting all wins for the Sixers team. If they go 3-1, that's still good. But you got to take advantage of your home court and show everybody why you want to get that number 1 seed. So I honestly think the Sixers, as you guys can hear the lawnmower in the background, I apologize. It's about to rain soon, so that's probably why everybody wants to cut their grass. But I like the Sixers to go 4-0 in this homestand. And then the Sixers got 2 at Milwaukee. So these next 6 games are absolutely brutal. So that's why that Mavericks win on Monday was huge. And that win against Oklahoma City was huge on Saturday. So that was a good job for the Sixers to get those 2 tough wins on the road. And now they got 4 tough ones at home. Nets, Clippers, Warriors, Suns, and then the two games in Milwaukee. I think the Sixers go 5-1 in this stretch. If they go 6-0, they're definitely going to be the number 1 seed. But 5-1, 4-2 is pretty solid in this stretch. And then the Sixers got the Thunder at home, Hawks back-to-back at home. Should all be wins. Spurs on the road, Bulls, Rockets, Pelicans, Pistons, Pacers, Heat, Magic. So that after the Sixers are done playing Milwaukee in that 2-game stretch, the Sixers should pretty much be smooth sailing into the postseason, and then we all know what's going to happen there. But I just wanted to say thank you guys for tuning into this live stream. I've had a blast with y'all, and we're approaching 50 minutes, so it's the perfect time. And again, I apologize. I am currently transitioning, getting my body used to working overnights. I work from Sunday to Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning. So I have to work tonight is my last day of the week. So thank you guys for bearing with me. I will start the live stream probably once the postseason comes back. I'll do one of the games each series. So hopefully that'll be fun and stuff like that. But you guys can always tune in on twitch.tv at swoop_RD_. Help me get to affiliate. I'm at 26 followers. I'm trying to take the next step and get to 50 followers. That would be great. And that would really show and really advance and take the podcast to the next level. Also, I'm going to live stream Pokemon tomorrow. I do live streams for Pokemon as well once a week. I am going to get my wisdom teeth taken out tomorrow. It's only 2, so hopefully my mouth will be well enough for me to record a podcast on Pokemon Thursday night, so stay tuned for that. And then also I do the anime club with my boy Isaiah. You can follow him at 8Ball Bangers, and also my friend Noah as well. So we're going to talk about Dr. Stone. So we got anime, Pokemon, and sports here on Swoop Radio. So I hope you guys are fully invested into that. But also you guys can tune in iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. If you guys don't really like to listen to my live streams, you can tune in every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Just search Swoop Radio and I will pop right up. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful week. Tune in on Friday, 12 p.m. Stay safe. And this is Josh officially signing off.